In Greek mythology, Orpheus was a legendary musician. When his lover Eurydice died, he took his own life in his hands and descended into hell to find her. He was allowed to bring Eurydice out, as long as he didn't look back at her until they'd left the Underworld. Of course he did, and lost her forever. Eventually his head was cut off, and he became an oracle. While reality changes every day, Orpheus continues, throughout eternity, playing the lyre to find the truth. And just as music and love are timeless, so is hell, in all its forms.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. There you go.
Thanks.
Who died when his pickup truck was hit by another car and caught fire.
I lost a dream or two. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh, baby,
The $90 million Franklin Templeton Group.
In the showroom, in the courtroom, the company was ordered to pay big damages.
For starters, all this good economic news set off a wild rally on Wall Street. Blue chip stock prices went.
I don't believe this.
Why not?
My coat, please.
One coat, red.
There was a hat, too.
One hat, blue.
No, my hat was red. Like the coat.
One hat, checked.
And the camera, with the film.
One camera, loaded.
There's the bag, too.
One bag, shoulder.
The pack, for the back.
One pack, back.
There was a bigger bag. To carry on?
Carry on.
Eurydice? Is that you? That was Eurydice. I've been going through hell trying to find her. Where did she go?
You might try number 1003, images of women in technology and art.
Where's Eurydice? I was told she'd be here.
She's right there, one Eurydice as requested.
You don't understand. I want her. I came to bring her back.
Back where?
Back to life.
Life? How about number 0415, Mind to Life? Thinking about women through time.
I've been doing that for 20 years. I don't want to think about her. I want to hold her hand, touch her hair, paddle a canoe through Times Square, that kind of thing.
Number 1075 might do the trick. The psychobiology of moods.
No, that isn't what I mean at all.
Perhaps you're having a problem expressing yourself. You could try number 1542, Conquering the Private Hell of Public Speaking.
That's got nothing to do with it. She's the one who's here. I only came to get her out.
You seem to be getting upset.
You're damn right I'm upset. I love her. I want her back, really back.
I think what you're looking for is 0658, Anxiety and the Nature of Reality.
Closer. Just cut the anxiety and give me the nature of reality. Eurydice, both feet standing on real earth, breathing real air. Nice blue sky overhead.
I got just the thing. Number 0804, The Cultural, Social, and Physical History of Central Park.
Great. So where's Eurydice?
There you are, number 2563, Conceptual and Intuitive Approaches to Photography.
That's not her. It's just a photograph.
No problem. We'll go for number 2615, Drawing with Both Sides of the Brain.
Now that's really practical as hell.
Practical? Why didn't you say so? There's a phyllo pastry workshop, that's 3803. Or, here's a practical one, 2943, Demystifying Insurance. Or there's a walking guide to affordable dining in Greenwich Village. A genographics PCP workshop. Emerging economic and political interdependence among America, Europe, and Japan. The politics of water. Business ethics. An oxymoron. I've got it. Number 3479, How to Get a Good Night's Sleep.
had a dream where Eurydice was gone. Like music I could remember, but couldn't hear or play.
But she really is gone. Not a dream after all. Just that aching feeling. Mind without heart. No music. It just keeps recording. Recording what? Alive. This is my life. But there's no music. Listen.
Oxygen between allowance rates. Declare it innocent of intended meaning. Thought wation. Sex determined. Voters decide.
No music, right? No Eurydice. But she's in here somewhere. It's just a matter of finding the place where she's part of life. And then where she isn't. And then putting her back in. In other words, editing. Simply a matter of editing Eurydice back into my life.
Value dead. Shortage declared. Interest down. Rates up.
So where in hell is she? Trying to edit one's own life is not all that easy. It's quite a challenge. And there are a lot of unexpected problems. Look. Here, for example, we have Aunt Ethel. And on the other hand, there's Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben made things from wood. And then we have, somewhere, Aunt Ethel's cat, sitting on Aunt Ethel's lap. Universal, right? I mean, everyone can relate to an Aunt Ethel sitting there with a cat on her lap, Uncle Ben by her side building a birdhouse. So, Aunt Ethel and Uncle Ben were related to each other, but they were not related to me. In reality, they were Aunt Ethel and Uncle Ben, and they were related to each other, but the truth is, they were not relatives, just names. Names I remember in relation to each other, but not in reality related to me, much less Eurydice. The hell with reality. Another way is to play the liar to find the truth. That, after all, is the essence of art. Playing the liar to find the truth.
Is it the green dress or the gold one?
It must have been the gold one.
But your Aunt Ethel gave me the green one.
The green one, then.
I don't like green. It's got that collar. It's not me at all.
The gold dress, then. You wore the gold dress.
In 1968. I wouldn't wear that dress in 1968.
1968, right. It must have been a black dress.
I don't have a black dress. Not anymore. I gave it to your Aunt Ethel. Oh, that green one. Oh, she'll probably be wearing it. But I can't wear hers, not with that collar.
I've got it. 1968, right? So you must have worn jeans.
I can't, I'm pregnant.
No, not yet. That was later. You probably weren't wearing anything.
Not to go meet your father. I have to wear something to go meet your father.
I wasn't there when you met my father. He died in the war. That's what I was told. That my father died in the war. Which war? My father's war. Everyone has to have one. A war, that is. Well, a father too. Everyone has to have a father. And so my mother got me a new one. Look. This is me. This is my father, Apollo, god of light, but not the sun. This is the father my mother gave me. Here, by the way, is my mother. She played the Calliope. And this is my son, but not the light. This son came out of a cereal box. My real son doesn't know I exist. Eurydice told him I died in the war. So, Eurydice, my son, and both my fathers are somewhere in all this. It's a little clearer if we start at the beginning. I just happened to be conceived precisely at the moment the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. I was the very first post-war boom baby. From the beginning, I rode the crest of a wave, pushed along by the ever-expanding reverberations of that bomb. And before me, the expectations of the ages were laid out like plowed fields, ready to be planted and harvested. I couldn't wait to get there. But every moment along the way, whenever my own life entered the present tense, going to school, falling in love, finding a job, having a son, that wave leveled it all and left some glow-in-the-dark civilization in its wake. A newly defined, plastic, fantastic past that somehow I had never lived through. Except when Eurydice was... It's here somewhere. That connection between the heart and the mind. There it is. Like an underground telephone wire.
I'm practicing the lyre, so I can't come to the phone right now. Please say anything you want, and I'll try to edit it in.
The town where we grew up was divided in two parts by a highway. The town hall, the 5 and 10, the drugstore, the firehouse, the church, the train station, the politics and the established establishment were on my side of the highway. The other side, where he lived, was filled with woods and streams and meadows that were quickly turning into houses filled with little tax deductions. People on his side of the highway referred to my territory as the other side of the highway. Over on my side, we thought they lived on the other side of the highway. Orpheus was from the other side of the highway.
Eurydice was from the other side of the highway.
Yes,
house and the highway, there was an unviolated strip of land filled with dogwood, birches, sassafras, maples, a virgin woods chastely defying the roaring highway, fending off the ever-encroaching advances of suburbia. These woods somehow survived under the beneficent protection of the Salkins, the lords of this land who lived in a mysterious stone manor house at the far end of the wood. So they were called Salkins Woods. But he never saw a single Salkin.
Michelangelo described art as simply a matter of chiseling away the excess. Just a matter of deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. Editing. But I'm not as good an editor as Michelangelo. My life just keeps slipping through my fingers. Every time I try to take something out, it turns out it wasn't there in the first place. Not really. Like this. And you might not recognize it. It's a wham flatter. When I was 10 years old, I was the first on my block to have one. I know, because I made it myself. What I didn't know was that it wasn't real. That to be real, it had to come out of a cereal box. I didn't eat cereal. I ate oatmeal. What's the difference? I don't know. All I know is that in the Battle of Salkins Woods, the wham-flatter could not stand up to the Captain Video Ring.
Turn on the set when he's on again.
Darling. Oh, my.
When he was 5 years old, he crossed over to my side of the highway to come to school. He entered the school through a makeshift side door, planks and plywood temporarily rigged to avoid construction. The old school was being torn down so they could build a bigger one for the next class. I was younger than him, but in the same class. To me, the new school had always been there. And on that first day, everyone called him the new kid.
On my first day of school, a very beautiful and popular girl was leaving for another town. Everyone but me knew and adored her. They all gathered in the school parking lot to wave goodbye as her mother drove her away. Long, strawberry blonde ringlets, passing back tearful kisses from the rear window of the 1952 Chevy. It embodied something wonderful, irreplaceable. Something I would never know, moving on up the highway. That was the first time I saw and lost Eurydice.
Growing up in the suburbs was like being raised on a tour bus. There was always some guy pointing out how things were and weren't to be done. Like reading comic books or cutting across people's lawns. Comic books were kind of radical, but cutting across lawns was downright sacrilegious. Trespasses were not forgiven. Unless it happened to be the lawn of someone who had a lover, or chickens, or ate natural food, or voted for Stevenson, or didn't have a father, then it was okay to cut across their lawn, and maybe even ring their doorbell if they had one. Maybe his mother got him a father to replace the one who died in the war in order to save their lawn. But instead of cutting the lawn, he spent all his time in Salkins Woods,
in spite of not cutting lawns or delivering newspapers or winning an essay contest, I managed to go to college. The summer before my last year was 1967, the summer of the robin. That's when Eurydice and I came together. She was standing there, on the other side of the highway, hitching a ride. I offered to walk instead. I took her by the thumb and led her across the highway into Salkins Woods. We made love from then until New Year's Eve. Then she asked me where we were.
It's beautiful. Where are we?
In love.
I know that, but where are we in love? The ground is all white, and we're walking through the tops of trees. Everything sparkles.
It's Salkins Woods. The trees are coated in ice, and their branches bend down in the moonlight to the frozen snow.
It's so quiet.
1968 just began. When the sun comes up, you'll hear the highway.
I don't want to hear the highway.
Where were you going? When I met you, hitchhiking out there.
I was going to the mall to buy a pair of sunglasses.
There's nothing down there but farms. It's where celery comes from.
That was years ago. Before my time, the farms are gone.
The past is a shopping mall now?
Haven't you been there?
No. I hold the highway to my ear and pretend it's the sound of the ocean. That's one way to avoid hearing it.
And the other?
Make love. We were the perfect couple. People wanted to bring us home and put us on their mantle, like knickknacks or bookends.
I was listening to the primary returns on the radio.
Oswald, the 68 convention, Kennedy, Kent State, Cambodia, killing. You saw and heard it all live.
What about you?
I don't know. I watched and listened over and over many times and still don't know what happened. Nobody does. I heard the world shatter, and when I turned around to look, there was a television glowing in the dark.
What did you expect to find?
Disillusionment, maybe? Instead, illusionment.
And what's the alternative? At least it's real, unlike...
Unlike what? Give me an example. What's not real?
Your father, for one thing.
My real father, or the one my mother gave me.
Exactly!
Exactly what?
You've taken him out. No dad, no you. It's biological.
Biology isn't logical, I know. I got an A in logic, but I flunked biology.
No, you didn't. I'm pregnant.
I didn't know.
You should have.
Well, I was aware of the preliminary steps. It was not the result.
But you did the editing. Now you've got me pregnant right here in aisle 3 of ShopRite. You put me between the Scotch tape and the dental floss.
It's not ShopRite, it's Solkin's Woods.
What's happening? You don't know? They made Solkin's Woods into a shopping center. By 1969, he claimed reality had been edited out of existence. He chose existence. I chose reality. I told our son he died in the war. In reality, he did.
You want to know what really happened? She died in Vietnam. Let me edit that. She didn't die in Vietnam the place. She died in Vietnam the war. In reality, you see, I've been going through hell without her. Okay. I'll let you decide who died in the war.
How can you prove you're not afraid of being patriotic?
I could make a lot of money.
How can you prove you're not afraid of killing?
I could commit murder.
How can you prove you're not afraid of dying?
I could commit suicide.
How can you prove you're not afraid of living?
I could turn off the television.
How can you prove you're not afraid of being yourself?
By loving you.
Are you afraid of loving me?
I'm afraid of losing you.
Do you have any idea who I am?
young woman for part-time position as file clerk in voicemail room. Wanted, open-minded weather forecaster with clear outlook. Fashion experience preferred. Wanted, desk jockey to run rat race. Track record required. Wanted, entry-level social climber for high-rise co-op conversions. Must have own money.
She gave me this for Christmas in 1968. Or maybe I gave it to her. Anyway, I kept it around in case she ever came back. But what I had to do was go on living without her. That's the essence of art. Getting rid of stuff. The real key is getting oneself out of the way, which is hard to do when the subject is one's own life. But the subject is not my life. My life is the form. The subject is reality. The object is Eurydice. But if the subject, reality, isn't real, then what becomes of the object, Eurydice? She only exists in reality, which isn't really objective. Therefore, the only way to edit her in is to edit myself out. I have another dream. I'm lying on my back, staring up at the night sky. The stars turn into a mass. Only I'm looking at this mass from the inside. It's very far away, but it's coming towards me. I know that when it reaches me, covers my face, I'll suffocate and stop breathing. It's not that I'm afraid of dying, just that I might not be living in the first place. Like my father, like Eurydice. I have 4 choices. Go to Vietnam, go to Canada, go shopping, or watch television. If I chose either Canada or Vietnam, I'd lose her. But if I stayed with her and went shopping or watched television, I'd lose myself. I did the only thing I could. I went to the Colombian Andes.
You were in the Colombian Andes, just one step away from the outer edge of civilization. You were with some people who wanted to smuggle out ancient kitchenware so they could donate it to a college in exchange for a tax deduction to offset excess profits on their orange growing. Your guide and buyer was,
Speedy Gonzalez, a Colombian bank president who also happens to be an amateur archaeologist.
and Speedy brought along some cadets from West Point.
Naval Academy, actually, but they're not relevant.
After a perilous 3-day journey, in which your jeep barely clung to the outer edge of mile-high cliffs, you wound up in a place where elephants guard the graveyards. That's when you decided to sacrifice me.
Stone statues, guarded graves. The pre-classic statues were full of life, but badly needed editing. The classic statues were perfect. The post-classic statues were lifeless imitations. Each statue had an alter ego peering over its head. One of the alter egos was an elephant, which is strange, since there aren't elephants in South America.
I was lying on this stone slab the priests used to cut off people's heads. My throat was right there, where they had this kind of gutter carved out for draining blood. And my head was propped up so I wouldn't roll away. And all I could see were my feet, outlined against the clear blue mountain sky. I suddenly realized that if someone cut off my head, I would still feel attached to those feet. And that's exactly what they were up to. By splitting body and soul, the priests could play with reality like a bloody yo-yo dripping from their hands. Half the people lined up to be first on the block to have their heads chopped off, while the other half lined up to buy tickets. What could they do? Go to Canada?
And then I realized, it's simple, really. Her head had been chopped off. Heart and mind separated. Is the future
Fully carpeted,
docile?
as anxiously
Is it
well lit.
relaxed?
Everything's
Then
like
perhaps still no
still
whatsoever. So
Doctor
saying,
carefully
spin
mounted
this HMP
discs
head,
as the
place
fish
my
snugly
place.
into
Those
place.
piece settles and
I
plugged into
active
him,
data
known
space
to non-size
for
darkness,
total
my out,
stretched
wrap,
hands.
and sensor
Lined
data
like
glass
our
dick.
DGs
Okay,
in
let's
frame.
go. 4 fingers
Online,
through.
tap
I can buy
together.
a minute. Explode
Without
across
just
the play.
pixels,
I am instantly
stereoscopic,
luminous glow
distant
of
vague,
toured
in an
winter state.
explicitly
My
common
self-cover.
which I find.
Why did you tell him I died in the war?
It says you did, right there.
That's just a medium, not reality.
Did you know he's living in Sawkins Woods now?
Who? Our son? My father?
Richard Nixon.
What's Nixon got to do with reality?
Orpheus, it's Dad. It's 1993, and you still haven't called back.
Look, you write a letter to someone about a very urgent matter. Hi, Dad. Who are you? For instance. Until they reply, you're stuck in limbo. An unconfirmed bit of dust floating around in space. After 6 months, you give up and decide to assert your existence. You send off a self-righteously nasty letter. But as soon as you put it in the mail, out of your hands, irretrievable, you receive a letter from him. His letter is kind, warm, informative. He's sorry he took so long getting back to you, but he was standing vigil over a dying child, or fighting off the onslaughts of bankruptcy, or tracking down a long-lost relative in the far fingertips of the Colombian Andes. The whole time, your petty concerns remain foremost on his mind. But if you hadn't mailed your own burning bridge, his message would never have arrived. The timing has no relationship to what we call reality whatsoever. It's just like nobody that you actually want to speak with ever calls until you decide to take a shower or go out to buy a newspaper. If it's someone you don't want to speak with, one of those messages that begins with a voice reading, "Hello, how are you today, Mr. Orpheus?" then the phone is sure to ring right when you've got 1 foot balanced on the top step of a ladder as your shaking hand reaches for the burnt-out overhead light bulb. Or perhaps you just felt a faint breeze whisper the true meaning of life, and are trying very hard to clear it in your mind. Total enlightenment. Just one moment of silence away.
This is Orpheus. I'm contemplating reality and can't come to the phone right now. If you happen to know the truth, please tell me after the beep. Hi, Dad. Mom and I are in a movie. She wants to know when you're planning to get down from that ladder and come to get us.
Have you noticed how every time I look back, she vanishes? I think the problem here is, you've probably noticed this already, that I have no media identity. There's only one solution. Fatal, perhaps. There's no other choice. It's not a question of editing her out, but of editing myself in.
Soho, January 1st, 1993, for immediate release. Orpheus declares his intention to at last comply. With careful editing, he will take his lines all the way back to 1968. Balancing on the very edge of reality, he will rescue Eurydice from the underworld and return to life in Sawkins Woods. If necessary, he will, like his father, die in the same way to kill her and play virtual existence games with his son.
sent to Eurydice. Go ahead, check. I've got it all edited.
But she's not here.
That's really the heart of the matter. I mean, how do you go on loving someone who's no longer a part of life? My father had the same problem. He edited himself into the father my mother gave me and wound up dying in the war. If I edit myself into the father Eurydice gave my son, then I'll have died in the war. Since she died in the war, that would put us together. The problem is, how do I get her out?
This is a very interesting case. You realize, of course, the danger is in looking back.
Then what happens?
Eurydice remains, and you have to go on without her.
Remains where?
With your father.
Suppose I tried editing myself into my father, and then my son into myself.
But then you'd have made Eurydice into your mother. Oedipus tried that, and it didn't really work out very well. See, that's what I mean about looking back. Raises all kinds of problems. My advice would be to put back those 20 years you've taken out.
How do I do that without looking back?
Just try to remember, your father's the light, not the son.
But to my father, I'm the son.
To your son, I'm the father.
The real one, or the one Eurydice gave him?
You have to keep playing the liar to find the truth.
Time magazine, which it had a mailing label on it, addressed to me. The K-Pro Computer Therapy Group will meet tonight at the General Theological Seminary.
My father, I was told, died in the war, World War II. That was my father's war. Everyone has to have one. A war, that is. Well, a father too. Everyone has to have a father, so my mother got me a new one.
Keep playing the liar to find the truth.
My son was told I died in the war. Vietnam. That was my war. Everyone has to have one. A war, that is. Well, a father too. Everyone has to have a father, so Eurydice got him a new one.
Keep playing the liar to find the truth.
My son died in the war. Everyone has to have one. A war, that is. Well, a lover too. No lover, no light. No light, no sun. No son, no father. I was conceived the moment the bomb dropped on Hiroshima and was born in 1946. Then, on my 46th birthday, the bomb stopped reverberating. Suddenly, I had become
mortal. It's the kind of thing that makes you look back on your life. What I saw was a glow-in-the-dark civilization with a plastic, fantastic past that somehow I had never lived through.
Orpheus? Orpheus? Orpheus?
Your eyes were green.
All the wind has blown by.
I've got it. The dress was green.
Now you and I are going by.
I've got it. Your eyes were, brown. Aunt Ethel has nothing to do with it.
Soho is the flower of childhood, and memory a sister to silence. And tears are the anguish of truth.
We were going to change things, remember?
All the world has gone by.
Okay. Everything has changed.
All the wind has gone by.
But we were going to stay the same.
Now you and I are going by.
Not the same, but always in touch.
The fear is the masking of reason, and freedom is false without honor.
Eurydice, please! You're just repeating lines. Words you've heard somewhere.
What should I do? Remain silent and stay?